Alright, so this is for the guys here. Imagine yourself at a party, having a good time with the guys, pounding down those brewskis, and drinking that beer in the game of beer pong. All of a sudden you see this girl walking by, checking around, and you spot her out, and you tell the guys, that's the one I'm going to get lucky with tonight. And so you end up meeting her, you bid on her, and you get your game going on, stamina's pumping up, and by the end of the night, you end up getting freaky with her. 3 months later, she gives you a call, and she tells you she's pregnant, and that you might be infected with some AIDS. Your world turns upside down, and now you're paranoid that your life might be affected for the rest of your life. This all could have been prevented if you thought smart and wore a condom. But you ask me, Gio, how could I have worn a condom if I was so messed up? My answer would be, next time don't get so wasted if you plan on getting freaky with her. And you might look retarded, but maybe put one on before you're getting drunk. Yeah, you're going to feel stupid, but I mean, at least you know you're safe. I know you're well prepared. So today I'm going to talk to you about why it's so important for guys to wear a condom. Besides getting a girl pregnant, not wearing a condom gets you and your partner some real nasty diseases like HIV and STDs. As Susie Harris states in Amazons.com, one stupid mistake can lead to a lifetime regret. At a young age, people need to have drilled into them the importance of condoms and safe sex. Pregnancy, HIV, and STDs are all caused from unprotected sex. And it's rare to meet someone who doesn't know a story about who had something unfortunate happen to them before a slip they made in the bedroom nowadays, unfortunately. And believe me, I know like 6 people. It's really sad in high school, like, that they had like herpes, and like, it's just sad, you know. It's just sad to know like you have some friends that got HIV and they're HIV positive for some stupid mistake they did for getting drunk, and that is just retarded. But unfortunately, many of these diseases are happening to teenagers for unprotected sex and because of alcohol abuse. A couple of shots of Patron, some Jägermeisters, and at an awesome party can really mess up a teen's life just in one day. At avert.org, it simply stated that HIV is a big problem for young people as well as adults. It estimated that in 2007 there were 2 million under the age of 15 living with HIV, and globally AIDS are the second most common cause of death among 20 to 24-year-olds. So to prevent this from happening to you, just simply put on a condom and be safe. It's more enjoyable and pleasurable by knowing that you're getting pleased by a person you want, but also by knowing that you're safe from any type of transmitted diseases. In AIDS.org, there was an estimate of 36.1 million people living with HIV and AIDS in the year 2000, and 34.7 million were adults and 1.4 million were children. So it has dropped a lot from the past, but it still keeps going. And the estimate of 21.8 million people have died of AIDS in the year 2000. And 17.5 million were adults and 4.3 million were children. So children, it actually went up, because before I told you it was 1.4, and now it's 4.3. So it has gone up. Other way around. It went down. So because 4.3 was in 2000, 1.4 million is in 2007. So it has gone down. That's really good. But it's still happening. So, I mean, you know, teenagers need to stop drinking and pounding them when they can't hang, you know what I mean? And this was in the year 2000, and but also just knowing that it's still happening, you know, it brings a lot of sadness and solace for the family members more than anyone. I mean, you know, the teen might just be like, damn, I made a mistake, now I'm sick. But what's really affecting them is the parents. You know, they're going to have to be suffering through buying all the medicine, taking care of them, keeping them alive, and that's just harsh. But in the United States, according to Center for Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, there are between 800,000 to 900,000 people living with HIV today. Through through December of 2003, a total of 774,467 cases of AIDS have been reported to the CDC. In the summer of 2008, so last year, 448,060 people, representing 58% of cases, have died from AIDS. This is a serious matter and must be prevented, and it can with the knowledge and, most of all, common sense. In Answers.com, they stated that girls can get pregnant from unprotected sex even when they are ovulating, because they ovulate 2 weeks before the period, which gives them the higher risk of getting pregnant. So girls, don't be using that as an excuse just because you guys are ovulating. It's like, oh, I don't have to use a condom, I'll be fine. No, no, no. You can still get sick. And there's a big chance of pregnancy a few days before a girl ovulates. Girls can get pregnant with unprotected sex since the semen can stay alive up to 7 days in the vagina. So remember, don't try to find ways around of not using a condom, not even birth control, ladies. I mean, you know. Anytime you don't use a condom, you have a risk of getting a girl pregnant or catching a virus, so don't make any excuses of not using one. There's no excuses. Nowadays, most guys and girls don't like using condoms because it's pleasurable without it, and it's more enjoyable. Well, until you find out your partner is having a baby or you're sick. Now all of a sudden you both are looking at each other thinking, oh shoot, we're too young to have a baby. We have our whole lives ahead of us. Well, if you thought about using a condom, this wouldn't have happened. I mean, if feeling pleasure is really that important for you guys, then go to a pharmacy, spend those couple of bucks, and get some ecstasy condoms. I mean, you know, you guys all seen the commercials. I know it. They feel like nothing's there with the mime. You know, I know you guys all have seen it. So, I mean, I know. So just give it a try. Really, you should really want it to experience. If you really want to experience the moment with full pleasure and being protected from someone getting pregnant or getting some kind of nasty viral infection, you should just give it a try. There are lots of tons of condoms nowadays that men and women can buy to protect each other. They sell them with different colors, sizes, materials, and flavor for the ladies. They can be plain with lube or lube with a touch of some warm sensations, and for the guys. So think twice before having sexual intercourse with your partner. And remember, drugs and alcohol is no excuse for getting a girl pregnant or getting some kind of HIV or AIDS. It's the ignorance that runs in the mind during the mood of pleasure. In conclusion, I've talked to you guys about why it's really important to use a condom and the types of diseases that you can get if you don't wear one, as well as the percentages of death rates from having HIV and AIDS when it could have been prevented from if the guys simply just wore a condom and had some common sense. Also on how you can get a girl pregnant by being ignorant and not using protection. So remember guys, don't be silly and wrap your willy. Especially in December, gift wrap your member. Case a snake, then shake and bake. Thank you.
I do not. Kent, what did you think?
I thought his topic was interesting for us to listen to. He had a good introduction and conclusion. The only thing, it seemed like he was reading most of his speech, and he had a lot of good statistics, and that was good.
All right, I thought the visualization at the beginning is a little bit awkward. I think your thesis is pretty clear. You need to have a stronger structure at the beginning of the speech. At the end, I think you structure it a little bit more clearly. Sometimes it sounds like it's about HIV, sometimes it sounds like it's about pregnancy. I know that ultimately it's about wearing a condom, and I think you need to keep that as a focus. Maybe if you use that language on each of the transition points to your next idea, that would make it hang together a little bit more coherently. The statistics that you had about HIV infections worldwide, I'm not sure how much of that is addressed by the kinds of things that you're talking about. The U.S. statistics probably would work a little bit better as your illustration on that point. I'm going to... Sugar.